No, first game of the season. I mean, we're excited to get going. I felt up to now we've had a real good week of practice, working on us. Obviously, we were disappointed in losing to Charleroi last Saturday. More so how we played, not how we played. But we've moved on. The reality is we're in the Euro Cup and getting ready for the Bundesliga. And tough game on Sunday. Playing a very good team, very physical, very athletic, with good size on their home court. Difficult game, but there are not any easy games in the Bundesliga, so it's the first game.
You talked about Charleroi, like the players seemed very disappointed after the game, especially because most of them, except Sven Schulze, didn't play EuroLeague ever. It was a big goal for them. Do you think it could be like pulling them down a little bit mentally, or?
No, we're over it. I mean, I think obviously we were disappointed after the game and on Sunday. We realized we lost a good shot, but at the end of the day, we didn't deserve to win that game. I mean, Charleroi played better, and they played on their home floor, and they were the better team that game, and they deserved to play in the EuroLeague.
What did you tell the players to motivate them or to get them focused on their new tasks?
Well, we came back and went through a video session Monday morning on quite a few things, and we practiced Monday night, twice Tuesday, twice Wednesday. No, it just I think the main thing is it's over. We have to move on. Like I explained to the players, it wasn't that we lost, it was how we lost, how we played, which was disappointing. We didn't play our best basketball, and that was disappointing. But I mean, I think we'll learn from that and become better because of that.
And you use, before the season or 2 weeks ago, you set the goals for the season, and you said some like interesting things for ALBA coach, like we don't have to be champion this year, like within the next 2 years, and I want to develop players, not buy them. That sounds like most other coaches that are here have to say we have the highest goals and we have to win as much as possible. Always, is it like a different situation for you? Do you have more time and more? Like no, other says they're not like in.
I didn't say. I think that was Marco or said that. I believe I said I'd like to win a championship in one of the 2 years that I'm here on a 2-year contract. It doesn't mean I don't want to win this year. It's the same thing when I went back to Frankfurt 2 years ago. I said I'd like to win a championship in the time I was in Frankfurt. We came close, but we didn't make it. And the time I'm here in this 2-year period, we would like to win a championship. It's not meaning we don't want to win this year. We're not the favorites. Bamberg's the favorite. Bamberg's the measuring stick. There's no question Bamberg's the best team going into the season right now. Our work is a work in progress. We have to, we need to get better, day by day, game by game, week by week. It's not where we're at now, it's where we want to be at in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months from now. I mean, it's not, to a certain extent, it's about us getting better as individuals and as a team.
Is it easier to work if you're the challenger and not the favorite, like because you don't have the pressure to like be the one chased by others?
We put pressure on ourselves. I mean, we want to. Obviously, we have guys here, players have come out and said they want to win a championship, and that's one of the reasons why Deshaun Wood came here, was be in a situation to win a championship, and so we put pressure on ourselves to be very, very good. We put more pressure, or I put more pressure on myself than the pressure from the outside. First and foremost, I as coach want to put a great product on the floor.
And you said you wanted to not buy players but develop players. Like Alba's team is mainly guys in the middle of their 20s, end of their 20s, some guys in their 30s. Like it's not a very young team. Do you mean like develop the players that they have a lot more potential, or is it like develop the team, how they play your style? What do you mean
I think if you look at any real successful program in Europe, Bamberg's a good example. In Germany, they have a base and they've kept that base together, and they've improved that base. Not only just by adding 1 or 2 players every year, but they've got the players they have better. And that's what I did. That's what we did in Frankfurt. My first 3 years in Frankfurt, starting in 2001. And that's what we're not trying to buy a championship. Buying a championship can end in a disaster. We're trying to develop into winning a championship. Develop into being a championship team. Is a better way to put it. And that's what we're trying to do. It means developing players, the players you have. All players can get better, and developing the team you have.
Coach, besides Charleroi, are you satisfied with the status of the team 2 days before you have to play the first game in the Bundesliga?
I wish we were a little bit farther ahead. Like any coach, I'm never really satisfied. There's always things we can do better. And so no, I think we have room for improvement, and that's what we plan to do, is get better.
The Euro Cup games start in 4 weeks. Will be much traveling, so you have 4 more weeks. Are they for the right time now?
Yeah, I think that right now we have 3 games in 7 days, starting Sunday, and then we have 1 game a week for 3 weeks, I think. So we'll have some good quality practice time after next week, and we need to use that quality practice time to get better. I mean, in my opinion, this is where we get better, is on the practice floor. What we do on the practice floor, we want to carry over to the game floor. And this is where we get our habits, this is where we get our confidence, this is where we put in our system, this is where we understand how we want to play, is on the practice floor. Practice is the base for what we do. And we're fortunate right now not to have any major injuries. We have some minor injuries, but that's one thing. Knock on wood.
How you approach that streak of 3 away games in 1 week, starting the season?
1 game at a time. We'll play 1 game as well as we can play it, and we'll see where we are Sunday night. I mean, we have to make sure we recover, obviously, and get prepared. With 3 games in 1 week, I mean, it's tough to have you might be able to have 1 real up-tempo practice during that time. The other time is more recovery, preparation, individual work, teamwork in that time.
So you didn't approach the players with that, we have a streak now, 3 away games. You just talked about Bremerhaven.
Yeah, no, we 1 game at a time, just looking at Bremerhaven. I mean, Bremerhaven's they've been a top 5 or 6 team in the Bundesliga for the last couple of years. Doug Spratley's done a very good job with them. They play good basketball. So it's a real challenge for us to go up there right away.
You saw last week your opponents, Bamberg and Bayern Munich. What do you think about the first round when you saw the games? Was there something surprising for you?
No, I think there's quite a few good teams. I mean, Oldenburg's very good, Quackenbrück is very good, Frankfurt's going to be very good. I mean, there's a lot of good teams in this league, and the home court advantage with these teams is very good in a lot of places. I mean, German basketball, the people really support it. The crowd is very good in a lot of different places. So Braunschweig's very good. Bremerhaven. There's a lot of very good basketball teams. With the new rules, with 6 foreigners opening up things, it's made it a lot. The playing field has become a lot more equal. And a lot of teams can, there's always 1 or 2 surprise teams in the league. And so there's a lot of good basketball teams.
How important is it to start with a victory this season?
Obviously it's always nice to start with a win during the season, but especially when we have 3 road games. But we just take one game at a time, and main point is to come out and play good basketball and focus on the process. And I believe when you focus on the process of playing hard, playing together, playing the right way, the winning will take care of itself. I mean, winning obviously makes it a little bit funner. So in coaching, there's 2 things: losing and misery. So, winning and misery. So basically, there's 2 things, and but it's not the end of the world to lose. But after the Charleroi game, where I didn't think we played good basketball, I think it's important for us to come out and play good basketball.
Are the players mentally strong enough for this game after the defeat in Charleroi?
We'll find out Sunday night. We talk about mental toughness being a huge thing with this team. Are we mentally tough enough? Are we, it's, I don't think it's a question we've really answered yet. I think that's, we've talked about that as a team, being mentally tough, getting better mentally tough. And it's an area that we need to get better at. We have a lot of very nice guys, guys with great values, so to speak, great people, which is very, very nice. And we have to get a little bit, when we get on that floor, we got to get a little bit mentally tougher.
Can you learn mental toughness?
Yeah, I think you can develop it, and one of the things I say about mental toughness is, is you got to go where it hurts a little bit. You got to understand, all of us have to go where it hurts. Not just 1 or 2 players, everybody has to go where it hurts. And mentally tough players do not let fatigue play a factor. Right? They do not let outside things be a factor. Yeah. So it's hard to describe mental toughness, but when you see it, you know it. It's the same thing with leadership. I mean, leadership can be defined in a lot of different ways, but when you see leadership, you know it. So I think mental toughness is a little bit the same.
Will you help as a coach to get this status?
I hope so. I mean, I try to bring this Canadian hockey mentality to these guys, and we Canadians, we play pretty tough. The hockey style a little bit, and maybe we need 1 or 2 Canadians on this team. This is the first time I haven't had a Canadian for a while. And I talk about that hockey mentality, being tough, and that Canadian mentality, the hockey players in Canada, and to a certain extent, that's all. We need to get a little bit of that Canadian hockey toughness.
So every player has to grow a beard now. What are the specific things?
I don't know. Grow a beard and drink beer.
What are the things your team has to work on? You have to work on with your team most.
We're in preseason still, basically just finishing up the preseason, and we have a lot of areas to address, especially after that Charleroi game. I mean, it's not one or two things, it's 5 or 6 different things. And I really don't want to get into all the details, but we have a lot of work to do. And, you know, that's what we address mainly on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The things we need to work on, the things we need to get better at. And there's not very many good things with losing, but the one thing with losing is you learn more. And hopefully we learn from that loss in Charleroi in what we need to do better.